Central Georgia Tech. Georgia Highlands College would like to extend a warm welcome to all fans in attendance today, and we hope that you enjoy today's game. Fans, coaches, and players, the National Junior College Athletic Association, the Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, and Georgia Highlands College are committed to the ideals of good sportsmanship, safety, and fair play. We ask all fans, coaches, and players show respect to the opposing team and individuals and each other before, during, and after today's event. Persons going out there or participating in other acts in conflict with fair play are subject to rescission and prosecution. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. And Floyd Medical Center's Sports Medicine Department is the official provider of athletic training and rehab services for Georgia Highlands Athletics. We thank the Floyd team for keeping the Chargers competitive on and off the court. Fans, you can get GCAA tournament t-shirts at the concession stand for $15. Supplies are limited, so get your supply quickly. While you're at the concession stand, support the Chargers Booster Club. The hot dogs, candy, popcorn, and drinks. All proceeds go to support Charger Athletics.
On my cord, Bless.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
One.
Check, Mike.
All right.
At this time, we'll present the starting lineups for today's championship game, beginning with the Jets of South Georgia Tech, led by head coach Travis Garrett, head coaches Chris Bauer and Wayne Hill. Number 0, Devontae Foster.
Let's go, Jets.
Hi, everybody. Welcome as we get set for basketball, the GCAA Men's Division I Championship. It is the number 4 seed taking on the 2 seed South Georgia Tech, battling Central Georgia Tech. South Georgia Tech gets here because of the upset over the Chargers of Georgia Highlands, and Central Georgia with a victory over South Georgia State College. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson along with the commissioner of the GCAA, Dave Elner, set to bring you live coverage of this one. Dave, it should be a good one.
Yeah, it should be. You said 4 and 2. It's really 4 and 3 seed because by the tiebreaker system, South Georgia State ended up being the number 2 seed. So really, you can say we had 2 upsets last night with the number 1 and the number 2 seed both going down, leaving here, as you said, Central Georgia Tech and South Georgia State. So winner of this one's going to punch their ticket to Kansas in the NJCAA National Tournament at Hutchinson.
There you see the starting lineup for the Jets. Jets a little different look. That's because Marquell Wiggins concussed in yesterday's game. He is not eligible to play, so Devontae Foster getting the starting nod instead of Wiggins. And then, of course, Bass, Boone, Green, and Simmons, all gentlemen who played yesterday. Meanwhile, Central Georgia Tech, same 5 that were on the floor yesterday, on the floor today. Why not? They put 91 on the board and came away with a victory that was 91-85 over South Georgia State. And those are the 5 gentlemen who will begin things, including the Player of the Year, Michael Laster. So on the floor go the 5 for each. In black, it is South Georgia Tech, and in the gray, it is Central Georgia Tech. And with that, the gentleman who fouled out last night, probably a little anxious to get on the floor tonight, fouled out with about 2:18 left to play. Rico Simmons grabbing the tip.
You wondered if when that took place last night, if that was going to be the demise for the Jets, because he is their spark plug. He is their quarterback on the court, and man, he is electric. He has got speed, and he can turn it up a notch when he wants to.
How much of a deficit, and obviously it is one, when you've lost your second leading scorer and your number 1 rebounder in Marquell Wiggins. But can the Jets overcome the loss?
Oh, I mean, sure. I mean, you don't become a good team where you're dependent upon one player. And let's see if Coach Garrett and Coach Pelora can motivate his guys for somebody else to step up in there, or multiple guys to step up and take the lead in his absence.
By the way, we are keeping an eye on the game in Spartanburg, South Carolina. South Georgia Tech's Lady Jets now have built a 21-point lead over Spartanburg Methodist, 44-23, with 5 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in the third.
And we'll keep you updated on that one. If you're not taking my advice and watching Jock Jive on 2 screens on your computer, that's the best way to do it, so you can watch it yourself. But if you're not able to do that, if you're technologically challenged to some extent, we'll fill you in anyway.
Well, I am technologically challenged to some extent.
We know that.
A large extent. Put in play to Cone. Over it goes to Daniels.
But you're proficient enough to get the GCAA network on Jock Jive, so that's all that matters.
That's right. And what a crowd watching basketball last night, and we assume this afternoon more of the same. Had some folks in Canada watching, and I got to believe all the Matthises are checking in again today to see their 6'11" Sam Matthis, who is on the bench currently, but no doubt will get on the floor shortly. Down low it goes to Green, back over to Boone. Thought about the 3 on the floor. Laster defending. Boone with a miss from 2-point range, and Castillo will rip it down.
Come on, Dick.
Well, the biggest surprise from yesterday, day 1 of the GCAA semifinals and championship.
Biggest surprise?
Yep.
Georgia Highlands being up by 20 in the first half and second half, only to lose the contest.
Yep, I would agree. When they were up 40-20 over the Jets, thinking, well, Jets, it's been a pretty good year. But obviously there were some believers on the floor.
Well, you saw enough of South Georgia Tech this year, and I saw them via your web streams that Coach Garrett's kids, they don't quit.
Nope.
And that seems to be the moniker from Coach Frey, what he was telling me. He says, they just don't give up. And, that's if you've got that mentality, you've got a chance at probably any decent lead. And I would say 20 points was a decent lead that they had.
Against the number 1 seed, against the defending GCAA champions on their home floor. I mean, the odds were definitely against the Jets, but they come away with a victory 101, make that 103-99. Boone off the glass, no good. Foster had it, lost it. Rebound belongs to Hayes. And he'll bring the Titans to the other end of the floor. Off the glass, Cone charged with the offensive. Cone, by the way, his play, the putback on the jam, it's available at hashtag GCAA and hashtag GCAA Sports on Twitter and Facebook. But he fouled out last night, picking up a foul here.
Well, the big key right there with charge was the player taking the charge was outside the cylinder. Last night we had a couple of blocks that could have been charges, but they were inside the cylinder. That was the key difference right there on a number of calls last night.
Into the corner, Foster sends it over to Green. Bass will shoot the 3. Off the mark. Rebound is retrieved by the Titans. Daniels coming up with a rebound. And the Titans already getting more boards than anticipated, and that just might be because Wiggins isn't there to grab them for the Jets.
There's Cone with a 3-pointer.
Making up for the offensive with the tray. Well, maybe this is how the Jets play their best. Get behind. And get behind early. And get behind big. 6-0 advantage. Titans, Boone. Into the paint, left side, lays it up and in.
Hey, boy. Go.
You know, we talked about the loss of Wiggins. What about Devontae Foster, who starts in his place, who didn't know he was going to start until about 5 or 10 minutes before the game?
Well, I mean, you probably talked with him. Did they know that he was going to be the starter, not someone else?
No, as a matter of fact, I spoke with the coach about 45 minutes ahead of the game, and he said, I'll let you know 20 minutes prior. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow.
20 minutes prior, I checked, and he said, I'm still not sure. So the decision was made about 10 minutes before game time.
Well, you know what? If you're anybody on a ball club, you got to come every day that you have a game and be ready to play. Because in any situation, any sport, if you're the second string, you're one injury away from being on the court.
Basketing to steal, got Boone out in front of everybody else. Nice rejected by Castillo. Foster got it, couldn't drop it in, and Castillo receiving the Hayes save. 3 threes for the Titans, 1 bucket for the Jets. 9-2 game, almost 5 minutes into this one. Over on the ladies' side of things for the Jets, we're trying to keep you updated on both. Green with a rebound, reaches over Hayes and got the rebound after the miss by Laster. Lady Jets in the District J Championship as Simmons fires the 3.
Boy, if he gets hot, you better look out because he can load up the threes in a hurry.
But still a 21-point Lady Jets lead in the District J Championship, Spartanburg, South Carolina. And you've got a foul underneath. It will be against a Jet. And that Jet is Adonis Green.
Personal foul, South Georgia Tech, number 2.
Laster to bring it in from the baseline. It's the first foul on Green. But where the men are concerned, this is the last step before you get to the Nationals. For the ladies, there's another one, the district, and that's what's taking place in South Carolina today. Castillo with the 3. Everybody's hitting threes for the Titans.
That's 4 threes right now.
4 threes for the Titans, a 3 and a 2 for the Jets. Foster at the stripe, gave it up. Laster going to the other end of the floor. Pulls up just inside the stripe. Hayes over to Cone. Laster's got it back. Castillo comes out to set the screen. The give and go. Castillo with a miss. There is a foul underneath, however. And the 2 Jets nearby were Foster and Bass. Foster called with a foul.
Laster's got good court vision. You saw that. He saw the floor, saw the opening, made the pass, just missed the basket because he was fouled. But several of those last night, good passes, threaded the needle in several spots, and really resulted in easy baskets for the Titans against the Hawks last night.
There was a question, too, at one point, a brief question as to whether Laster had injured himself. He flexed that left shoulder after a play underneath his own hoop, but obviously there's no Laster problems.
Or lasting problems?
That either. 6 minutes into this one, a 14-5, 9-point Central Georgia Tech lead. Well, I guess the one thing that a 20-point deficit to the number 1 seed does is you've got all kinds of confidence. If you do fall behind, you're like, well, you know what? We came back on Georgia Highlands 20 down. We can do it on Central Georgia Tech.
Well, I need to pull up some stats from last night. I think Georgia Highlands only hit 1 3-pointer in the second half, if I'm not mistaken.
After hitting 52% of their threes in the first half. Sam Matthijs checking into the lineup. Dives for the loose ball, and it is retrieved by Daniels. There is a foul, and it is Green that commits the foul. That's going to be his second.
Number 2, Adonis Green, his second personal foul, 3rd team foul.
Well, again, thanks for watching wherever you've got the coverage on, and on whatever you've got the coverage on. A Roku device, or PC, or mobile device. You can watch the game on Facebook. Lots of people last night watching the matchup between GHC and South Georgia Tech via Facebook.
You know, not to take anything away from South Georgia Tech because they did win the ball game. As you know, I'd rather win ugly than lose pretty. But first half last night, as you mentioned just earlier, Robert, the Chargers were 10 of 19 behind the three-point line, first half. Second half, they were 1 of 12.
Wow.
So there's your difference right there.
You know, I was thinking about it. I talked to Phil Gaffney, the head coach of Georgia Highlands, before the game yesterday, and he talked about the season where sometimes they played sensational, sometimes they played awful, and it was almost as if last night's game encapsulated their season. A tremendous first half, and then a bad second half.
Well, several times I saw them, it was almost like they didn't really rise to the occasion unless there was a sense of urgency at some point. Once they got that lead, that urgency was gone for them, and they just weren't able to get it back.
Simmons from just inside the arc. 14-7 contest. 3 and 4 battling it for the right to get to Hutchinson, Kansas. Over to Laster, thought about the three from out front. Saw a target, Daniels down low, but couldn't get the pass to him. Emishan Alford checking into the lineup for South Georgia Tech. And DeJuan Bass will come out. By the way, Adonis Green has picked up his third foul. Did that a few minutes ago, so Green is going to sit for a while.
A long while.
Yep.
8 minutes left, 8.5 minutes left in the first half, and your third foul. That's not encouraging.
So you got 14 of your per-game rebounds sitting on the bench. Wiggins with 9 and Green with 5.
Well, here's the thing. Did Wiggins feel like he had to play harder when Wiggins wasn't in there?
Yep, might be.
Did Green, excuse me. I think I said Wiggins twice.
I know what you meant. It's all just knowing what you meant.
Look, my mind always knows what it means. It's just that what comes out of my mouth sometimes is not the same thing.
Sam Matthijs, the 6'11" freshman forward from Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
Yeah. Well, it says here Prince Albert, Canada, which...
The province.
Yeah. Matthijs, 1 of 2. And I believe that is his first Final 4 points. Over goes to Laster. Castillo, toss Hayes down low, and there's the big guy, Evans DeSuer.
That's the big thing. When you get down low and you start trying to back somebody out, it's real easy to shuffle the feet instead of putting the ball on the floor or going straight up to the basket.
Round ball back into the hands of the Jets. Simmons off with a 3. Matthijs dives to try to come down with the rebound. You know, we're talking about DeSuer at 6'8" and probably 275-ish. Samuel Matthijs, no little boy either. Big guy at 6'11". I don't think he's 275, though. I'm going to go with 245-ish. DeSuer putting it in.
He might have been 275 when he got to South Georgia Tech, but by the time the year end, he might have lost a little bit of weight. He might have gotten in some shape.
All that running. But you know, down here in the South, we fix everything up with some grease. That'll put a little poundage on you.
Yeah, you have a few cat head biscuits every morning and you pack on the weight real quick.
In and out with a 3. Laster misses on the first 2 attempts but gets the second. There is a timeout on the floor. It is asked for by South Georgia Tech. Let's take the half-minute break as well and come right back to Rome. Just about all white. Jones County diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. GCAA Men's Division I Basketball Championships. The winner advancing to Hutchinson, Kansas. And coming up on Monday, the selection show is we announce on NJCAA TV, on Twitter, on Facebook as well for NJCAA. The seeding and the at-large bids for the 24 spots in Hutchinson. But obviously the winner of this one, they've got an automatic bid to play in the national championship. Dished over to Castillo, and he lays it in for two. The lead goes to 12, a double-digit Central Georgia Tech lead. Boone's got it in the corner. Works his way to the paint, fires the 6-footer. Loose ball retrieved by Foster, and Foster puts it in. Handed over to Elijah Farrakhan, the 5'11 sophomore from Melbourne. Back to Laster to Farrakhan. Laster kicking it into the corner. Farrakhan out front. Waters with a shot. A 20-point South Georgia Tech lead over Spartanburg Methodist going into the fourth, 51-31, as we keep you updated on District J. Simmons fouled as he takes it to the hoop.
Personal foul, Central Georgia Tech number 22, and Yuri Castillo. His first personal foul, 13.
So it appears South Georgia Tech is headed to Lubbock, Texas.
The Lady Jets. Let's make sure we don't confuse people, because we're giving you information on two different Jets.
That's right.
So, yes, unless they totally fall flat on their face the last 10 minutes of the ball game with a 20-point lead. But, hey, we saw that last night here, so I think you would see Coach James Frey, go ballistic if that happened. So, hey, we all know it's never over till that final buzzer, but things are looking good, folks, right now for the Lady Jets over in Spartanburg.
Simmons knocking down a pair. Simmons has just got that look on his face that he realizes he's got to take these Jets, put them on his shoulders, and try to bring them to Hutchinson, Kansas.
I think he's sort of on a mission, but if you're Rico Dawson, I think you realize, hey, we need to if we shut him down, then we can cover everybody else.
Over it goes to Laster. Waters into the corner. Farrakhan pops the three.
Elijah Farrakhan for three.
An 11-point advantage. Simmons working his way left side, scoops it over to Boone. Thought about the three, then will shoot the three. Short on the shot.
Well, he had a good look at it. It was right in front of us, and he was squared up. I thought it was going to be a three-pointer right there, Robert.
And now the officials calling a foul. I thought they had originally called it on Foster, but now the expression on the face of Waters would indicate it's a Titan, and it is. Waters committing the foul.
His first personal foul, 14 foul.
Put in play to Imashon Offord, who is back in. Works to the top of the key. Foster the screen. Offord off. Foster with it. Puts it back and gets it. 4 in the game for Foster. Back inside those double digits. A 9-point contest. Into the corner to Waters. Back over to Laster. Open in the corner. Waters didn't want the three. Cone says, Farrakhan, you did it before. Try it again. In and out. Foster. Long wingspan, able to bring in the rebound.
Well, I think the Jets are, they've been in the zone the past 2 possessions. I think they're going to try to see if they can make the Titans beat them outside.
Dominique Walker checking into the lineup. 6'7" Brunswick, Georgia product, missing on the three. Got a whistle on the trip down.
Good call by the official. Basically, number 4 for the Titans just rode his player off down the baseline and out of the play.
That was Greg Cousin, the freshman from Tifton. Jets will have it back with another opportunity to trim a little more than 9 off the lead. Or actually, I guess they could trim a little more than 1 or 2 off the lead. They could go 3, but you get the picture. Can cut into an advantage, which is currently 9. Bass back onto the floor. They left him in open lane, had a look at an easy 2, just couldn't get it to drop.
I don't think Bass was expecting that. I think that just threw him off.
Shot missing down low. Offer launches one to the other end of the floor, and it's laid in by Foster. 6 from Devontae.
Well, do you think Foster's stepping up for Wiggins right now?
I think he's getting a little more comfortable each minute of the game.
I think he is too.
From the corner. Wow, popping those threes. Oneers. Central Georgia Tech has been impressive from behind the arc. Big part of the reason the lead is 10. Simmons backing it off. Farrakhan playing a lot tighter.
Yeah, the Jets are letting them take the outside shot, and the Titans are hitting them right now, so.
Foster leaning to the hoop for 2.
Boy, nice floater there by Simmons.
Rico Simmons has the unique opportunity. I don't know that there's many players. Of course, the way that Central Georgia Tech's popping these threes, he may not.
Well, I tell you right now, Farrakhan is just lighting it up. If you're the Titans, you just got to keep feeding him the ball. He's open and let him take those shots.
Bass this time says, hey, if you're going to give me that one, I'll take it.
Here's the thing. I mean, if you're the Titans, I'll trade a 3-point shot for a 2-point shot all day long. Because that means each possession I'm going up 1 more.
Talking about Rico Simmons, though, as the foul is committed down low on Walker. He has got a championship ring, a GCAA championship ring for the Lady Jets. He was the manager for the Lady Jets a year ago. So if you win this.
You want to tell him why he was the manager for the Lady Jets?
I don't know why.
You don't know the story?
I do not.
Let me see if I can remember it correctly. I think he came back to school. He had gone to serve, I don't know if it was the military or work, some situation for the family to help out. Came back to school, had to sit out in other words, to get the number of hours or the grades to be eligible. So they put him to work as the women's manager until he could get eligible, and now he's back eligible that way.
So you could, and I don't know how many guys can claim this, you could have a Lady Jets championship ring, and if you win today, you could have a men's GCAA championship ring. I would think that's a rarity. But there is a little obstacle between wearing a pair of rings, and that's these Titans, and they have been a big obstacle in the first half. Walker with a miss, rebounded by Cone. And again, you got to see that Cone put back on the jam last night. What a dandy play from Cone at hashtag the GCAA and hashtag GCAA Sports.
That ball was below the rim that he got it put back, wasn't it?
Rolls out of bounds. Jets will bring it in for the baseline. An 11-point contest. We're keeping up with the ladies, by the way, in Spartanburg. Hey, you can do what I did. I mean, you can do as Dave suggested and have 2 screens on 1 computer. I just popped it up on the mobile device. And they've got about 5 minutes to go in Spartanburg. And the Jets 57-38 over Spartanburg Methodist. There's another 3 from Farrakhan.
Farrakhan is feeling it right now. I tell you what, everything he throws up, that net is as big as the Atlantic Ocean right now.
Imishon sending Malik Wilson, who has checked into the lineup, the 6'3 freshman from Sumter, South Carolina, from one end of the floor to the other. Bass putting it in for 2. 10-point game. Cone to Laster, down low, picked up, put in. Bucket counts for Jawan Daniels. Pull-up jumper, Simmons. Any open opportunity he's taken, and Cohn with the rebound off the miss gives it over to Laster. Laster scoops it into the corner. Farrakhan again.
Got to shut him down somehow.
And they're going to talk about how during the timeout. Farrakhan on fire. 39-24. Central Georgia Tech back in 1 minute.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Four minutes, 3 seconds left to play in half number 1. A 39-24 Titans lead, and very similar basketball logic to last night, where the Jets fell behind because Georgia Highlands was hitting the threes. And in this one, they're falling behind because Central Georgia Tech is popping the threes. Boone pulls up near the elbow, gives it over to Alford. Alford, a little trouble hanging on to that round ball, gets it back to Boone. Over it goes to Alford, had to alter the shot, still put up the 3, but launched an air ball. Out off of Bass. And it was the defense of Central Georgia Tech that made that Imishon Alford shot look substantially off.
Well, a little softball score here. First game between Georgia Military College and Spartanburg Methodist. The Lady Bulldogs pulled out a 10-1 win.
Well, congratulations to the Lady Dogs. Mattice picking up the foul.
Personal foul, South Georgia Tech number 33, Samuel Mattis. His first personal foul, 6th team foul.
And it's got Dejon Waters Jr., the freshman, 6'3", from Snellville, Georgia, at the stripe shooting. Lead goes to 16. Bass with a rebound off the miss. Duran Green, the freshman, 5'10", out of Brunswick, Georgia, into the lineup for the Jets. Boone from way out front, just a little too strong. Cohn able to tip it away from Mattice. Laster into the paint. I think Mattice gave a shove to the back of Castillo. And Castillo goes to the line.
Well, I think it's pretty much a lock right now, Robert. South Georgia Tech Lady Jets, 59-42 lead over the Lady Pioneers of Spartanburg Methodist with 2:39 left to play.
So the Jets can, at least the lady version, get those travel plans in order. Lubbock, Texas, and Lubbock Christian University is where the national championships are played in the NJCAA.
There's no easy way to get to Lubbock.
Long drive. You know, you get to Dallas and you think, okay, I'm in Texas. It can't be much further. Well, it's much further. Over it goes to Cohn, lays it in. Jets in familiar territory, down by 20 in the first half. Simmons wouldn't drop off the glass. Simmons able to get his own rebound. Kicks it over to Green. Was open for the 3, but Castillo convinced Green not to try it. And Boone will throw it away. Devontae Foster checking back into the lineup. Isaac LeComte comes in as well for South Georgia Tech. Dump down low to Castillo. Castillo, boy, that went as far in as one can fall without actually falling through. Rattles out for Castillo. Boom. Castillo with a block. Over it goes to Farrakhan. And Farrakhan will lay it in over LeComte. A 22-point lead, Central Georgia Tech. Down it goes to Bass. Works his way to the paint, short of the shot. Cone coming down with it.
Well, does this show you the significance of not having Marquel Wiggins in the lineup?
Just very well may.
But hey, let's not take anything away from the Titans of Central Georgia Tech, because they've been lighting it up from the three-point. Interesting to see the halftime stats, but Farrakhan probably has at least 4 or 5, and they hit 4 straight to begin the ball game. So I bet they might have 10 three-point shots made.
Well, Georgia Highlands hit 52% of their threes in the first half yesterday, and the Titans may top that. Less than a minute to play in the half. 46-24. Lead belonging to the Titans, and you got an offensive. That's called on Farrakhan. Well, the Lady Jets in the District J Championship, that game winding down, less than a minute to play. And the Lady Jets with a big lead. Simmons over to LeComte, fires the three, in and out. Bass knocked down, hit hard. And the foul is on Cone. 7th team foul, that means we're into the bonus. Both teams are. Bass will shoot.
Well, last night we were in the double bonus with 8 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah.
Double bonus in the second half, so you knew there were going to be some players fouling out of that ball game. You can't give up 40 fouls and not expect somebody to foul out.
Yep. DeJuan Bass gets the front end of the 1-and-1, earns the bonus. Well, we'll have a final score for you here shortly. Lady Jets about to win the District J Championship as the clock is winding down. The Lady Jets have got possession, and apparently they are going
69-42. Just got a text from the Region 10 director.
So they let the clock run out, and the Lady Jets have won District J 69-42. Our coverage in Spartanburg, South Carolina. Thanks very much to South Georgia Tech, by the way, that provided the underwriting, and then, of course, Spartanburg Methodist providing all the technological logistics necessary to be able to bring you the coverage. Well, apparently a little verbiage going on between the official and a fan in the stands, and the official has said, quieten it down. And I think they're now getting some Titan help in trying to quieten the fan down, who got a little boisterous. 46-25 game, 21-point lead. Central Georgia Tech, and that is goaltending on Foster. Castillo credited with the bucket, put in play to Boone. Stolen away by Castillo. That is Waters underneath, but he could not get it to drop. and add insult to injury in the first half. Instead, it is a 48-25 game as we have made it to halftime, the advantage belonging to the Titans of Central Georgia Tech. Well, Dave, I kept you longer than you said keep you. We kept you through the first half.
Oh, no problem.
Great to have you aboard, and
yeah.
If you're departing ways, then we'll say so long. If not, we'll get into the second half in about 15 minutes.
Well, we might do a little second half too.
All right.
I haven't put my foot in my mouth yet.
Well, that little teaser then to keep our audience in suspense. We may have Dave Elder back in half number 2. It is halftime, and it's a 48-25 lead that belongs to Central Georgia Tech. And again, in the District J Championship, Lady Jets have won it 69-42. Congratulations to James Frey and his squad. They are headed to Lubbock, Texas, representing the district. It's halftime on the GCAA Sports Network, powered by Jock Jive.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Welcome to South Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Kicks it in, 40, got one guy to beat, and he beats him easily into the end zone. about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
Wherever life takes you, remember all roads lead to Econo Lodge. We make travel easy. Econo Lodge, easy stop on the road.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back as we get set for second half action. A dominant first half that saw Central Georgia Tech hit 56% of their threes. If you thought the 52% last night in the first half by Georgia Highlands was impressive, 56% from behind the arc for Central Georgia Tech in the opening half of this one, claiming a 23-point lead, 48-25. And there is a walk by Castillo. So the Jets will try to do in half number 2 of this one what they did in half number 2 of last night's semifinal matchup against Georgia Highlands. But they will do it without the services of Marquell Wiggins. Wiggins sitting out the game because of a concussion. They lose his 16 points a game, his 9 rebounds per outing. Green, who sat out the better part of the first half with 3 personals, hits the first bucket of the second half. So are there 2 big-time come-from-behind wins in the bags for this South Georgia Tech squad? Timeout on the floor asked for while Bass had possession. And the Jets are going to have possession. Meanwhile, Titans, well, I'm sure they watched the second half of last night's game and realized what happened to the Chargers and don't want that to happen to them. Timeout on the floor. We're back after this. Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Nine minutes, 15 seconds left in the season for one of these 2 teams. The other will play in the Midwest in Hutchinson, Kansas. Again, congratulations to the Lady Jets of South Georgia Tech. They have knocked off Spartanburg Methodist 69-42 to advance as the District J and the Region 17 winners. To Lubbock, Texas. Green, his second consecutive bucket from 23-19 now the lead for the Titans. Down low it goes. That is Daniels with the 2. Taking a look at your first half stats, you saw the team stats posted at halftime. Individual leaders, point-wise, Tarico Simmons, 9 points to lead the Jets. Elijah Farrakhan had 14 to lead the Titans. Top rebounder in the first half for the Jets, Foster with 7. He's the guy that started in place of Marquell Wiggins and certainly picked up the slack there with 7 first half boards. Castillo with a miss, batted high into the air and then tipped over to Hayes. 2 tied for the team lead, for the Titans. Cone had 6, Lester had 6 as well. Your assist leader, Alford had 2 for South Georgia Tech. Laster had 8 assists in the first half for Central Georgia. If Laster had had his near normal point performance in the first half, might be working on the possibility of a triple-double. But Laster was held to 2 points in the first half, had 6 boards, 8 assists. Stayed on the floor 20 minutes, the only Titan to do so. Simmons on the floor 20 minutes as well, the only Jet to do so. Over it goes to Boone. At the timeline, Simmons dumping it down low to Green. Green spin move to the hoop. Castillo blocks it. It goes out and got Green on the way out. In play to Laster. Works his way to the other end of the floor. Wanted to get the alley-oop to Daniels, but neither the alley or the oop. Into the corner. Castillo steps out trying to save it. And the Jets will have it. Robert Williamson, Dave Elder, the commissioner of the GCAA, half number 2, championship game. On a championship Saturday, the Lady Jets capturing District J in Spartanburg. Congratulations to Coach Frey and all the players. And here we are in Rome, Georgia, as the 3 and 4 tangle to be number 1. Boone with a miss.
No, Mike.
Laster. Boone lobbying for a jump ball, instead got a foul. That is the first foul on Boone. It's got Laster at the stripe.
At the line for Central Georgia Tech, number 3, Michael Laster, 2 shots.
Michael Laster on average 16 points a game, 8 boards. He's on average board-wise, but struggled from the floor. Was 1 of 5 and a couple of points in the first half. It's his first trip to the line, and he goes 0 for 2. Simmons hurries into the other end of the floor. Over it goes to Boone. Kicks it outside. Bass has got it. Screen set by Foster. Bass tiptoeing through the Titans and misses the shot. Steal by Boone. Brings it to the glass. Too strong. Trying to get it back. This time, Boone gets his jump ball. Now you hear the officials, and now a warning to the bench. Rico Dawson, no stranger to warnings from the officials. He and Coach Corey Baldwin last night with a double technical, and now Rico Dawson, who complained about what he said was 2 illegal screens, and the official said that's enough and gave him a warning.
I mean, you got to know when to pick and choose your fights, and you're up 21 and you're going to keep harping on one thing. Not the time to do that. And then, of course, as you just said, it got him a warning, so that sort of takes him out of being able to say, something in another occasion.
Well, I think he had a fairly large lead last night when he got into the double technical standoff. Bass with a miss. That's a game that strikes emotions, and it's interesting. The body language of Dawson was, as soon as he got the warning, it was like, okay, you're right. I got to go to the bench and be quiet. You just get caught up in the heat of the moment. Over it goes from the left to the right of the key to Castillo, handed to Cone. Castillo cuts back door, but instead the toss to Laster. Pulls up, shoots the long 2, hits it. Second field goal of the game for Laster. Simmons, top of the key, working it right side, into the corner to Boone. Boone out of the corner. Over to Green. Lost the ball on the floor, battle to get it back. Green does, kicks it to Simmons. Simmons shoots over Castillo for 2.
Simmons is so quick. He went by the Player of the Year last year. Where'd he go?
He is going to make somebody a pretty good guard a year from now.
Yeah, I think so too. You get guys like that, they're just playmakers. You just, you can't react quick enough. And if you start thinking about it, then you're doubly behind the curve.
Obviously, I've had multiple opportunities to see Simmons play this year. I did some work a couple of days ago with, I don't know if you know Van Pettaway, the longtime Alabama A&M coach. He's won about 450 games, still has a lot of ties with the SWAC. And I said, Coach, you got to see this guy play. He is able to play in the SWAC. He says, we'll look at him. We'll find somebody to look at him. We'll see. But
somebody will get a good guard.
Cone from the stripe.
Well, you get a point guard that can handle the ball, can dish, set up the plays, and give you that occasional three-pointer from outside.
Luxury to have. Over it goes to Simmons. Speaking of guards who can pop it from outside, what about Farrakhan? Hasn't been on the floor in the second half yet. He leads all scorers with 14. And that's depth for the Titans. When your leading scorer and your hot hand is on the bench waiting for an opportunity later. Hand it over to Cone, cutting through the paint. That is Castillo. Green providing the defense, and Green's got to lay off a little bit. Well, he didn't. Picked up his 4th foul.
They fouled Castillo, and you saw Castillo have to change his motion, and he still was able to keep control of the ball and still get it in there for the chance of the and one.
Anthony Castillo, the freshman, #1 in the league in field goal percentages. Hits 57% of his floor shots. The 6'7" Norcross, Georgia native. Green coming out. And Dominique Walker will check in for the Jets.
Go, man!
Still a 25-point lead with less than 15 minutes to play. Titans have been impressive. A big first half with lots of threes. Over it goes to Walker, and he simply lost the dribble.
Catch the ball, man.
We can sit here and play what ifs, but it's easy to see. I mean, of course, the Jets were down 20 points last night but with Wiggins, but they're also down 25 now without Wiggins. And, where would we be with him? I mean, we can sit there and second guess till the cows come home, but you got to figure they miss him.
Well, as someone once told me, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, every day would
be Christmas.
Yeah.
It sure would. Ifs and buts tend to go along with excuses.
Yeah. 14:08 left to play. 58-31. The lead expanding to 27. Jets are currently 9 threes away from tying it up. Not taking the lead. So you're talking that if you score at a clip of, say, 60% from the floor, you've still got to have about 16 possessions just to tie up, and they've got to go ice cold.
It's called the perfect storm, and that will have to happen.
Boone with it near the timeline, right side. Works it to the top of the key, hands it over to Walker. Walker with a walk.
But you saw last night the South Georgia State Hawks. Yep. I mean, they were down by 18, and next thing you know, with less than a minute left, they'd cut it under 6.
Yep.
So.
Well, we went through the scenarios last night. Stranger things have happened in the world of basketball and in sports in general. But it's always the exception to the rule, not the rule, those improbables. Illegal pick set on by Castillo. That'll be the second foul on Castillo. Put in play to Boone.
Oh.
Top of the key give goes to Foster. Back over to Malik Wilson, who is now in. Walker down low. Foster tries to whip one down to Wilson, off Wilson, out of bounds.
See, that whole thing broke down when Walker was too slow recognizing Foster being wide open underneath the basket.
58-31, and we're at that juncture in the game where the clock is almost as important. Burning time off that clock for the Titans is points. They've got a big lead with 12:24 to play. And have nearly doubled up on the Jets, 60-31. LeCompte coming to the scorer's table to check in. Simmons around the cylinder, drops it in. Timeout on the floor. It's a full timeout. It's asked for by the Jets. Let's take the break to 60-33 Titans.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
12 minutes, 8 seconds left to play. 60-33 contest. The Matthijs clan in Canada watching the game. By the way, Mama Matthijs saying Sam was 219 when he got to South Georgia Tech. Has put on a few pounds. Says the guy burns off everything he eats, and he eats a lot. You know what bothers me about that 219? I weigh about 6 pounds more, and I'm 11 inches shorter. That's concerning.
Yeah. Well, he's also 18, 19, and we're in our 50s, so
I can use that as an excuse.
Well, I was that way too till about 38. You know, then the metabolism changes.
You were 6'11".
No, I wasn't 6'11", but I was much thinner.
There's the 6'11" guy coming down with a rebound and has it ripped away. That is Hayes who takes it away from Matthijs. Laster left of the key. Backs it out, and now Central Georgia thinking about the clock a little bit.
Oh, well, no doubt. I'm sure the goal right now is for them to run every possession down into single digits before you take a shot. Unless it's a wide open shot that they can take.
Simmons with a miss, tipped out of bounds by Hayes. Jets will maintain possession, a 62-33 game. Matthijs coming off the floor, and Bass will check in. Also Castillo coming out, and Farrakhan, the leading scorer in the first half with 14, enters the contest. Out front it goes to LeCompte. Laster reached in, tried to take it away, and kicked it away. Well, now they say a foul. I think they said a foul. And it's on Farrakhan. Put in play to Simmons. Simmons fouled out last night. I don't think he's committed a foul today. left the game with a little better than 2 minutes to go in last night's contest. Foul free in this one. Bass got it back. And there is a foul on Laster.
Well, here's the thing last night. Last night's game was a very physical, in some instances, very sloppy ball game, in which we were in the double bonus with 8 minutes left in the first half, and then was the double bonus in the second half. So we had, a minimum of 40 fouls last night.
Yep.
And a lot of that is attributed to the wide open style of play of both teams.
As a matter of fact, one team, South Georgia Tech, averages 86 points per contest. They're the number 2 team in the conference offensively. Central Georgia Tech, 83 a game. They are the number 3 team in the league offensively. Tipped away by Foster. Trying to reach back and find it. Hayes does. Tips it over to Daniels. Laster leans in. Shot no good. Got it back. He will drop it in. And the lead has exceeded 30. 64-33. Titans with less than 10 to play. There's a timeout on the floor. We're back in a minute.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
9 minutes, 59 seconds left to play. The GCAA title matchup. It's a 3 and a 4 seed. 4 beat 1, 3 beat 2 yesterday. Couple of upsets. This one, I guess the biggest surprise is the lead. It is huge. 31 Titans on top of the Jets.
Well, I don't think you or I, Robert, would ever thought we'd be looking at a 31-point lead with 10 minutes left in the ball game when we started out today.
Boone in the paint, dishes it over to Bass, lost the handle, battle to get it back. You got Cousin and Bass rolling all over the floor. Jump ball called, and the possession arrow will send us to the other end of the floor. No, not when you had, as I mentioned, a team scoring 86, the other 83. Central Georgia Tech better defensively during the course of the season. They're number 3 in the league defensively, whereas the South Georgia Jets allowed more points than any other conference team, 83 per contest, but you certainly expected more than 33 on the board for the Jets. 64 for the Titans, not that big of a surprise. They score 80-plus per outing.
Well, that shows you how much Wiggins gives to the team, too.
Hand it over to Laster. Hey, don't forget, we want you as a friend and follower. Friend on Facebook at Jock Jive. That's on Twitter, actually, at Jock Jive, the Twitter handle, and then Jock Jive Sports on Facebook. And I call us kind of the costume jewelry of the social media world. We like big and gaudy numbers. Lots of followers and lots of friends.
I was wondering where you were going with that. I just stopped there. Okay, where is he going with this one?
It is a strange analogy, I know.
Well, if you can make it work, which obviously you do.
Well, I don't know. I don't know that I made it work, but you get the picture. We like lots of followers, lots of friends. Twitter and Facebook, at Jock Jive on Twitter and Jock Jive Sports on Facebook. Score schedules and more. Plus, you can watch the game on Facebook. You find out where we're going, what happened once we got there. You get so much more. You interact with us like the Matthises have done from Canada.
And then when you get tired of going to Robert's site, Jock Jive, you can come on over and check us out at the GCAA.com and at the GCAA on Twitter, and check out the latest stuff, not only with basketball, but all our sports. I mean, we're in the finishing up the winter season now, and spring season's been going full speed since February. And softball's going strong, baseball's going strong, golf and tennis. And so we still have a few more championships to go.
Colin picking up his third foul. Love the website. I mean, anything you want to know about GCAA sports, stats, schedules, standings, regardless of the sport.
A few poorly written articles by myself as well.
Never.
Listen, English, my son got the skills of being an English major. He must have got that from his mama, because he surely didn't get it from me.
Maybe you motivated him. Maybe said, you know what, I've got to do better.
You know who motivated? His 11th grade English teacher turned that light bulb on for him, and he's just phenomenal now. Mine just never happened.
No, English. One of the few topics that I struggled in school, the only ones I can think of where I had trouble was math, social studies, philosophy, psychology. Science, yeah.
Geography.
PE.
Well, for me, with my 2 college degrees, it wasn't magna cum laude, summa cum laude. It was thank you, laude. I was just glad to get it done and get them over with.
65-36 game. How, if you are the Jets, do you get motivated? I mean, are you still thinking that there's the possibility of a comeback 29 down?
Well, here's the thing. At this point in time, we've got 8:22 left, and you know what? Every kid out on this court is a competitor. If you're playing college athletics, you are a competitor. And you're now sitting here playing, okay, you still want to try to win, but you also play for pride. And you know what? I don't want to go home knowing that we lost a championship game by 30 points. You know what? If we get it down to 15, that's much more respectable. So you would think that, and I tell you what, I can tell you this from what I heard from athletic director / women's basketball coach James Frey. He said this men's Jets team, they usually don't quit. So.
And they score a lot of points, and they can do it in bundles in a hurry, but they better do it in bundles in a hurry. Down by 29 with 7:42 to play.
Well, the Titans, I mean, everything has gone their way today. They're living right today, and whatever it is, they need to bottle it up and make sure they take a 50-pound bag of it out with them to Kansas so they can use it.
There's some stiff competition in Kansas.
Oh, it's going to be. Whew. 2 teams. You'll have 2 out of Florida, at least, possibly 3. 2, possibly 3 out of Texas, and then several others. There's not going to. You're probably, unless there's an upset in a region, you're probably not going to see a bad team out there.
And then there's that pretty good team out of Iowa, Indian Hills, ranked number 1 in the country, haven't lost a game all year long. But you get there, and once you get there, you never know what happens.
Well, hey, here's a prime example. We need to go to break. A couple of years.
Your input is more important than a break.
Well, let's try to educate people a little bit. A couple of years ago, Georgia Highlands went out there their first time with how many people? 7. They got on a run out there with 7 ball players playing back-to-back games. And they made it to, I think, the quarterfinals.
Mm-hmm.
So
was that the year they knocked off Northwest Florida State?
Or did they lose to Northwest Florida State that year?
May have been that. Well, there's Coach Phil Gaffney right there. I guess we could step about 4 or 5 bleachers down and find out, but I don't know that he may not be in a talking mood today. I've kind of Phil Gaffney, good guy, great guy, and we appreciate him and David Mathis and Rob. I'm not even going to take a shot at the pronunciation of the last name of the IT guy, but Rob, thank you very much, because we got a great seat in the house. I am parked right outside the door, a foot away from the door on a very rainy day here in Rome, and the internet's working, so life's good from a broadcast perspective.
So you're just a simple broadcasting
That's
man.
it, you know. Farrakhan walking it across the mid part of the floor, and now the Titans want some time off that clock. Cohn's got it in the corner, back over to Farrakhan. You know they're thinking, I want to shoot, but Rico Dawson said don't.
Well, there we go. See, we're down into single digits before we go to the basket. 6 seconds left on the clock.
And you get the bucket.
That's the way you run the clock down. Don't let them cut into your lead.
Boone with it, top of the key, shoots the three, nails it. Jets in dire need of many more of those. Farrakhan, down low it goes to Cohn. Green stepping out to provide the defense. Green with 4 personals. Couple of bodies fall on the floor. Got a jump ball. And the jump ball possession arrow is pointed in the direction of, I believe, Central Georgia Tech. So Bass a little slow getting up. And now he's got to lace those sneakers on.
Well, here's the dilemma you try to get into. A couple of times right there probably should have been some calls made. But also what people don't realize during the course of the game, officials also are game managers. Mm-hmm. And you know what, you try not to add insult to injury in cases and get to the point where, okay, you're calling fouls, you're delaying the inevitable, you're also putting chances where situations could escalate because of that. Mm-hmm. So sometimes they let a call or two go by. You talk to any official on any level, and they'll tell you that. I've heard enough of them talk over the years. I'm talking SEC officials, AC, you know, not just junior college officials. And that down there in the corner probably should have been a foul. And that's why, you know, Central Georgia Tech was a little upset about that. But you got to weigh both sides of the situation.
So if it's a 69-61 or maybe even a 69-51 game, you're calling it, but here you allow it.
Well, I'm not saying you don't call fouls, but you got to look at the situation.
Adonis Green has fouled out of the game. And that lead goes back to 30. Over to Walker. Into the game with the exit of Green. Left-hander off the glass. Into the arms of Boone. Tosses it down the floor to Bass. Tipped out of bounds by Cohn. And the Jets will maintain possession. .41-43 contest, 5 minutes, 15 seconds left to play. Titans with a big lead, with plans to advance. And by the end of today, 16 of the 24 spots in Hutchinson will be determined by either district or region championships.
And then we go to the infamous 8 at-larges, which people are trying to politic on that one. Let the politicking begin.
And, of course, coming up on Monday, the selection show, we will announce the teams, the seeding, and obviously the 8 at-large bids, who gets those and who they play. Opening round games, all coming up on the selection show Monday on NJCAA TV, on the NJCAA Twitter account, on the NJCAA Facebook page. Simmons makes it a 71-45 game with 4:42 to go. Castillo, left side of the rim, and the foul is from Dominique Walker. I think in looking at the standings going into today, I know there were 3 district titles out of the multiple regions. Otherwise, it's primarily region winners that advance, with the exception of the 8 at-large bids. And tomorrow afternoon, the selection committee goes through the process of determining the 8 who didn't win a region or district that get to advance to the Nationals.
Because you're probably going to have an upset or two. You expected a team to win a region, and it didn't happen. So are they worthy to be one of those 8? That's what they'll look at.
And, of course, all of that announced on Monday.
Robert, we got 4:22 left. I'm going to have to take care of some post-game ceremonial stuff. So I'm going to sign out here. And thank you for once again broadcasting our games and once again doing Yoma's job. And always glad to have you take care of our contest. And we'll be back doing some softball, baseball this spring, and then softball championship and baseball championship. So we'll see you soon.
Look forward to it. Thanks again for the opportunity to work with the GCAA, and congratulations to the Titans. A great year, and thanks to Dave Elder for all the work he does on promoting the GCAA. 3 minutes, 57 seconds left to play in this one. Michael Laster, the player of the year, at the stripe shooting as we get inside 4 minutes to go. So a bittersweet day for the Jets as their ladies have won the District J championship. Their men will fall to defeat to the Titans. For the Titans, big win. Knocked off South Georgia State last night. Beat the Jets today. Nemanja Jovanovic, the 6'8" freshman from Serbia, checking into the lineup for South Georgia Tech. Also, Duran Green is in. I believe that is Malik Wilson, who is headed to the scorer's table to check in momentarily. Castillo with a miss. Tipped high into the air. Simmons, who has not been off the floor, gets the loose ball, gives it over to Bass. Bass off the glass and foul.
Personal foul, number 22, Yuri Castillo, his third.
Castillo picking up his 3rd foul.
At the line for South Georgia Tech, number 11, Dewan Bass.
Dewan Bass to the stripe, the sophomore, the 6'4" Baltimore, Maryland product. For South Georgia Tech, if all the freshmen come back, you've got Adonis Green, Malik Wilson, Duran Green, Dominique Walker, Nemanja Jovanovic, and Sam Matthijs all coming back. For Central Georgia Tech, a lot of people coming back. This is a freshman-laden squad, so Central Georgia Tech, tough this year, but look out a year from now. The only sophomores on the roster, Cone, Laster, and Farrakhan. Everybody else freshmen.
Come on, Q. Dang.
Personal foul, South Georgia Tech, number 10, Duran Green. His first personal foul.
Duran Green picking up his 1st foul.
At the line for Central Georgia Tech, number 3.
Michael Laster, the sophomore from Manhattan, New York. In and out with the front end of the 1-and-1. The foul is committed by Waters as he reached over Wilson to try to grab the rebound.
Personal foul, Central Georgia Tech, number 1, John Waters Jr., his first personal foul.
Well, the Jets have sliced about 10 off of the lead. It was at one point a 30-plus advantage. Now a 20-plus lead, 72-50, but the clock is not a friend to the Jets. 3 minutes and 10 seconds to play. Wilson with a miss on the front end of the 1-and-1. Laster over to Castillo. And this is what the Titans will do and do frequently in the remaining 3 minutes. Burn some clock as the shot clock, you see, gets into single digits. Over it goes to Waters, fires the three. Short on the shot, rebounded by Hayes. And a brand new clock. And an opportunity for the Titans to burn more time off the clock. Foul committed by Boone. 2 fouls now on Boone as Farrakhan will shoot. Saheem Anthony, a freshman forward, 6'6" from Queens, about to check into the lineup. Farrakhan, 14 first half points, but he has been quiet in half number 2. But they have not needed his services. Able to build the big lead prior to heading into the locker room of the half. Expanded it a bit. It has shriveled some, but still 23. Timeout on the floor. Back in a minute. You are watching the GCAA Sports Network, powered by Jock Jive.
Frustrated. She's having trouble with her defensive player. Look at this sweet pass behind the back. Her 2 on the assist.
And that one is hit on a rope to center field. Watch that one. And it is, oh, what a great diving catch by the center field.
And in that game, it was basically a running back by committee. I mean, you had a lot of guys carrying the football. Is that the protocol for the upcoming season for the backfield of Jackson State?
It's a really nice pitch to get the ground ball double play. Second one.
6-5 is your final. East Georgia advances to the championship game.
Closing moments of the GCAA championship. Malik Wilson missing from the elbow. A rebound retrieved by Anthony. Handed over to Farrakhan. Titans will bring it to this end of the floor and then burn more clock. It will be the routine for the remainder of the game. And the Jets at this point just about as content with the Titans as letting that clock run out. Jovanovic providing the defense on Anthony. Anthony fades but is fouled prior to the fade. It's Jovanovic who commits the personal. Sam Mattice about to come onto the floor. He heads to the scorer's table as Anthony, the freshman, looks to pick up his first points of the Final Four. So Mattice coming in. Also checking in is Kari Dawson Cooper. Cooper checking in for the Titans. Cone back in too. Laster giving Rico Dawson, his head coach, a big hug. His assistant coach, Byron Mincy. Then teammates as well as the Titans begin to celebrate a GCAA title and an appearance in the national championship in Hutchinson, Kansas. Wilson with a bounce pass down low to Mattice. Tried to save it, dove. Instead, out of bounds, it will roll. And the Titans will have possession with 1:43 to play. Well, thanks so much for watching our coverage. Great to have you watching wherever you have been watching from. And on whatever you've been watching on. Please don't forget about Facebook and Twitter. Follow us on Twitter at Jock Jive. On Facebook, Jock Jive Sports. Put that in the search engine. Coming up, the NJCAA Selection Show on Monday. We'll be there to produce and provide the show for you on NJCAA TV. And then next week, well, we get right back to the same old stuff. Lots of NJCAA athletics. Walter State baseball coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday. Mattice with a slam. Also next week, Chat Valley taking on Coastal Alabama South in baseball. And then the week following, we head to Harrison, Arkansas. The NJCAA Division II Women's Basketball Championships. To the other end of the floor, LeConte one in the jam. Did get the loose ball, gives it over to Green. He will fire the three. Mattice has got it.
Lay the ball
and Mattice foul. Sam Mattice going to the line after the personal from Cooper. Well, the last time we headed to this end of the floor, it was Sam Mattice doing this. Back of the line now, shooting free throws. (74-52). And let's see if the Titans run it out. They are about to become the GCAA champions. Game about to go archive on Jock Jive. Watch it as often as you'd like. If you want to download the game, that's no problem either. It's final. 74-52. Central Georgia Tech. The Titans have captured the GCAA title. They are headed to Hutchinson, Kansas to represent Region 17. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. Thank you very much for not only watching but texting in, talking with us as well via cyberspace. We will wrap things up, get ready for the selection show on Monday. It happens at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern for the ladies, 11:30 a.m. Central, and then 12:30 p.m. Eastern for the men, and it's all on NJCAA. For the commissioner of the GCAA, Dave Elner, I'm Robert Williamson. As I see Michael Astor looking into the camera as his squad, the Titans, have won the title. Understandably happy and should be. Got a crown that will allow them to represent the region in Kansas. Titans, congratulations. This one is over, and it's a victory 74-52 for all of us here at Jock Jive Sports and the GCAA Network. Thank you for watching GCAA Basketball.